Well, hello there. You know what it is when I'm adjusting my filler right like this now? Yes, it is Nollywood review time, and this time it's Anikulapo. So now, was it all fluff and no substance, or much substance and less fluff? Well, let's find out. Anikulapo, directed by Kunle Afolayan, was released on the 30th of September 2022. It was released on the same day both in cinemas and on Netflix, and well, most of us, myself inclusive, watched it on Netflix. And it follows the story of Saro, who, after a dangerous affair with one of the king's wives, had an encounter with a bird with the ability to bring him back to life, and brought him back to life. So now, the story itself. So we've got Saro, whose backstory is not really clear, but then one thing that is clear is he has skills as an Ashofi weaver. And then when he got into the village, he got to meet a woman called Awarun, who ended up turning out to be a sugar mommy. So now the thing about that encounter was, yes, while he did have skills, he did not have the opportunity to practice those skills yet. And she did advise him to start working a certain way, but it turns out that there were also certain strings attached because she was attracted to him and she became a sugar mommy. But then, she was a sugar mommy that actually did deliver on the benefits of being a sugar mommy. She did set him up with the capital for a business. She gave him the connection, which led him all the way to the king's palace, where he met the king's fourth youngest, newest bride. And you know how it is in those days, and even some time these days with some of the dynasty, where the newest wife is definitely going to be a really young girl, and then she grows old, and as she grows older, she's done being the newest toy, and then there is a new wife, and that's how it is for some of these kings. And that's how it was for him, because even though she had no kids for the king at the time, she was his favorite, and the king was played by Pogogo in this movie. Now the affair continues, and honestly, the way everything busts, it was just one night, and that was all it took. And it was crazy because, well, while this guy is a young, good-looking guy, and yes, there were ladies in the village that were interested in him because you could see them giving him glances. They were not even hiding it, a lot of them. This also included one of the princesses, a daughter to one of the king's wives, and she was the one who found out about the affair. But prior to that time, he had a Warun, who, she wasn't just a sugar mommy, so it wasn't just a gigolo for her. She was actually like a major benefactor, and yes, even though they did have their intimacy, she was a sugar mommy that told him he can't marry her, first and foremost. So he can't start acting jealous if she's with another man. And secondly, when the time comes for him to get married, she would even get him a very suitable bride and give her blessings. I remember seeing a tweet where this guy listed out everything, and he was like, this is the new sugar mommy standard. She sets you up, she gives you all the connections, she even sets you up with a wife and gives her blessings. Like, what more does a young man want from a sugar mommy? And that part was funny. But then it was, and while he started his affair with the king's wife, that's the queen, she noticed, and someone like that definitely is connected, and she knows things, and she noticed, and she told him, my guy, this part that you're treading, there's only one end for it. And yeah, that was what it led to at the end of the day, because when everything busted, of course, this girl was heartbroken, and because she was heartbroken, how it is being a teenage girl who is heartbroken, and all your life, everything you wanted, you've gotten, and the one man that seems to have finally stolen your heart for the first time in your entire life now turns out that he's sleeping with your stepmom, whom your mom hates. Come on, it goes without saying. So yeah, dude was pretty much sentenced to die, and upon his death, his woman, Arolake, she was with him the entire time, and while she was mourning him, she saw this bird, and this bird brought him to life to ask him. So according to the legend, this bird will sort of be a kind of judge to see, and if you were killed unjustly, it will give you a second chance. But if you weren't, well, goodbye, stay dead. And in this case, the bird was like, yeah, you deserved to die, fam. And just right when it was about to take away its god, which had the power to bring the living or the dead back to living, um, the lady came around and chased the bird away, which was, while I can understand, it was like a very big plot hole in the sense that, if this bird truly had the power over life and death, it would take more than a stone to chase this bird away. But hey, let's just say for the sake of the story that happened. The bird is weak, but it has so much power. But yeah, this god had the power to bring people to life, and that was what brought him to life. And since she had it, she was able to, over time, she gave it to him. This hunter that showed them kindness, she told him that this was the thing that brought you to life. This thing I was hiding, which you asked me about earlier, is what brought you to life. And I think it has the power to bring people to life. And well, the next thing was American Wonder. And that was what he did. It became, and that was how he got the name Anikulapo. So even though he was in this new kingdom, and he told the people of that kingdom, especially the king, when he was introduced to them, that my name is not Anikulapo, my name is Saru. But you know how it is with nicknames sometimes. I can remember even among my group of friends back in my uni days, even though yes, of course, they knew my real name, that was the name I gave to them, my nickname stuck more with them than the real name because of how it's attributed to the kind of person I was. And that was the same thing that happened to him. That's how he got the name Anikulapo, because it brings the dead back to life. But then over time, clearly it was now evident that this bride of his, the same way she could not conceive for the king, she actually can't conceive. So there are two sides to the story, the way I see it. Clearly, this woman is the source of your goodwill. First and foremost, she's the reason why you are alive. Yes, we can say she's the reason why you died in the first place, but you chose to start the affair with her too. You could have easily said no. But clearly, he had eyes for all these young ladies, because we could see when they gave him the eye, he also kind of gave it back. So it was a two-way thing. It wasn't just one-sided. But then, even if she's the reason why you died, she's the reason why you came back to life, and she's the reason why for your good fortune. So if it's that you do not really care about her, maybe you should have at least, talked it out, even though that would have been a serious betrayal of trust. But at the very least, I think that was what she was owed. But then he didn't. And over time, the girl who was stationed to work with them, well, he pretty much raped her, because it did not look like it was consensual, at least when he dragged her to her. But let's just say maybe initially the girl also had eyes for him, but she was a bit reluctant, or whatever the case was. But then she was pregnant, and when everything was made clear to the lady that she was pregnant, he tried to, kind of wiggle his way out of it and all of that. But I think she was still a lot more understanding, right? But it was the way she was treated over the years that really did truly break her heart. Because I think if he had had a conversation with her, and this was way back, there was not like IVF or whatever it was, and you could not know why she could not conceive babies. So if they are taught, because that was the gist they gave her initially, that this baby she gives birth to, it's our baby. But then when this new wife, and at the time when they are done the time skip, there is a third wife. So clearly this guy has eyes for other women, because even when he went to the palace for an event, he was eyeing some other girl, the princess, right beside his wife. So he clearly he had an insatiable appetite. And Saru was scum, let's just be honest, because he did not treat his woman right, the woman who is the source of everything good in his life also. And if he truly meant it when he said, which that was clearly a cop-out, but if he meant it when he said, this child is ours, there is the way she'll be treated like gold amongst all his wives, that they will respect her by default. It's like when you get into a new place and you see that there is this guy that everybody's bullying, unless you choose to rise above it, you will just join the rest of the people. Even if you won't bully him or her, you will just be there and just be passive, or even join the bullying sometimes. And that was what it was like. So he clearly did not respect her. And then, of course, at the end of the story, when the prince died, he asked for the queen's and the princess's hand in marriage, and he was very haughty and very proud about it. But at this point, his first wife, Arolake, heard about it, and she was really pissed off and distraught, and she packed her things and left. Now, I thought maybe he would even feel bad or have a change of heart. When he got back and he asked after her, and one of his wives said she packed her things and left. What did he do? He just continued with his meal. Then I was like, yeah, this clown is irredeemable. Like that was what I just said. Like, dude is irredeemable. So, when he went to revive the prince, when the king had agreed, and it did not work. After I said, say with me, but then it did not work. Yeah, he did all the drama, and because this time he's already a master actor at it, so he did all the extra things. But meanwhile, we know that the god is the source of everything. But then it did not work, and initially my thought was maybe because that lady was one that got the god away from the bird. Our heart has to be with whoever uses it in order for it to work, right? That was what I thought, and that would have actually been a much more plausible reason for me for why the god did not work. But then we now got a little flashback where there was some ash or sand inside the god, which she poured out. And when the guy checked, he noticed, and then I think a tear fell from his eye, or maybe it was both eyes. But then he noticed that, yeah, oh crap, this girl has done it, and oh crap, I am screwed. And then, of course, next thing we saw was him dying, the bird coming again, him coming to life, which we know that the bird is definitely just going to say, yeah, it's you, Abby, you are dead. Now, and then, yeah, that's the end of the movie, scene, case closed. So in the end, where did I get out of all of this? Well, first and foremost, Sharafobiru, Ayada.
Sharafobiru.
Okay, no, I was just messing with you guys there. But really, hell had no fury. Hell had no fury like the woman scorned. Like you can't. It was foolish of you to act that way. That's just the truth. Like Saro, Anikulapo was a fool to act that way, especially towards someone whom. Yeah, we get it that the two of you saw each other as an escape. She saw you as an escape from the life that started with child marriage, right? And you saw as a way to actually experience true love. So we get that, right? But then, as things moved on, you clearly did not value this woman who also sacrificed everything for you, because she said so. She was the king's favorite. So yeah, maybe if she had killed her emotions and she had not wanted to experience the true love and all of that, whatever the case was, the king always had eyes for her. Because there was a scene where she was when one of the other wives was really mean to her, when she broke her mirror, and she was being nice the entire time, but all she was getting from the second and third wives were hate. Then one night she was like, okay, I'm going to prove to you that I actually have control over the king. She pretends to be sick, and the king came, and next thing, of course, everything burst. So that's the thing. She was treasured by the king, even though she did not see the value of that. And I think that's also another lesson in a way. When she said she tried to kill herself, but it did not take, and she's now the king's bride, right? She's the queen. It's also another case of you don't know what you have till it's gone. Because while an argument could be made that as she grows older, the king was already really old. So if maybe he even takes another wife, and that new wife will be the newest, so the fifth wife should be his new favorite thing. But the truth is, in the end, treasure what you have, because you don't know what you have till it's lost. That could be another message. In the end, Anikulapo was not a terrible watch for me. I liked it. Kunle Afolayan did a great job. It's not his best movie, not by enemies, not by a long shot, but it's not a bad movie. And also there is something, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there is the whole thing about how it was denied for an Oscar consideration, and he also said about it that irrespective of whatever the case is, he'll keep making good stuff, which is good. Good on him. I know that will not stop a man like him. He directs one movie maybe every 2-3 years. So, and it's tough. When anybody says Kunle Afolayan directs something, everybody wants to watch. But then I read further, and I actually went through the Oscar guideline, and for you to be considered for international movie consideration, yes, they did tick some boxes. You need to speak at least 50% or more in the local language. Check. The setting and all of that, the subtitling and all of that, everything needs to be right. Check. But see, a box that they did not tick was it has to be in the local cinemas for 7 consecutive days. Remember I mentioned at the start of this review that it was released on Netflix on the 30th of September, same day as cinemas. So yeah, that already disqualified them by default. So in this case, it wasn't a case of bad belly, because I was really curious, just in case I am maybe part of a team, or I'm even the one that wants to do something and I'm thinking the Oscars, what will it take? So yeah, that was what disqualified them. In case you guys don't know, now you know. You're welcome.
And thank you.
The other one is King of Thieves. Lole or something. Sorry, I don't know that the party Yoruba. I'm not trying to form labels. I just don't remember. But then that one, if I remember clearly, now that movie I've not seen it yet, but I know it's on Prime Video right now. But it was in the cinemas for I think about a month before it went on Prime Video. So why that one was not considered, I don't know. So if you want to say something was done for bad belly, yeah, chances are it's that one, but not this Anikulapo movie. Overall, I like this movie. It wasn't a bad watch. Would I watch it again? Maybe, but sometime in the distant future. It's not a movie. To be honest, some clips in this movie I don't even remember that much again, but I remember the experience. I remember the feel, the vibe. It wasn't an awful movie. It did not feel like a waste of time. It was a good movie, and also I like the fact that it's a feature film, not a series. So many scenes did not feel like they were, over stretched out. I'm looking at you, King of Boys. It was just good. So it was a nice movie overall. It gets a 7/10 as a rating. Now, don't forget to check out this video or this video next. Thank you for all your subs, your likes, your subscriptions. It's been Tech for GVNNaija. Live long and prosper.